What's up, guys? Frugal BC. Today, I'm going to be sharing my Cake DeFi review after 6 months. That's right, I've been doing it for 6 months, and today I'm going to tell you how that went on today's Frugal BC. What's up, guys? Frugal BC. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about the DeFi platform called Cake DeFi. Now, some of you know I reviewed this. I first initially did this video 6 months ago. Actually, it was late May, so it's a little more than 6 months, but pretty close. And I kind of dug through the results, and I want to show you how that went. And then I'm going to talk about some new features and my strategy for Cake DeFi, and obviously whether I think it's worthwhile or not. So we're going to get into that. Before we do that, I'd love it if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. So I appreciate that. Thanks everyone who's subscribed so far. I say this a lot, but it really has been amazing to watch the growth of the channel. My niece really gets a big kick out of the fact that her uncle is a burgeoning YouTube star. I've definitely got a long ways to go, but I'm enjoying doing it. So, but enough about me. I do appreciate you guys subscribing, but let's get into Cake DeFi. So at the time, now I had to go back through because I wanted to tell for this review, I wanted to be really specific, and I wasn't nearly as prepared last time as I am this time. So let me tell you, I really broke down the numbers and actually ran into a little snag before I realized what was going on. So yeah, so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you. I just realized I was going to talk about the numbers anyway, so it doesn't matter if you see it. Okay. So we're on the Cake DeFi platform. So what is it? Basically, Cake DeFi is a DeFi platform that offers a number of different services, such as liquidity mining, staking, lending. There's a freezer. I'll explain what that is in a minute. But those are the freezing, lending, staking, and liquidity mining are the main services. And basically, you can input Bitcoin, or you can do Ethereum, or a number of other things. And we'll get into. Let's briefly talk about it. So liquidity mining, you're basically adding liquidity to the pool, and when you're getting a small percentage of the transactions. Bitcoin DeFi. By the way, all this is based on the DeFi token, which is worth about $3 right now. I was going to talk about that later on, but I'll just explain it now. And so what I found is you tend to get a lot more DeFi than Bitcoin on this, basically. But the APR is about 56.49%. And once I started investing in a significant amount of Bitcoin into it, then I started getting some more Bitcoin rewards back. So that's something to keep in mind. You could also do it with ETH, with Litecoin, and with US dollar token. I believe that's Tether, actually, isn't it? Also US dollar coin and Doge. I don't know what PCH is. I think that's one of those different. Is that Bitcoin Cash? I think that's Bitcoin Cash. And you can see right now, US dollar token or Tether is actually the highest one right now. So it's 60%, but it's all pretty close, except for Doge is really low. Now, I've been using Bitcoin, Ethereum. The problem is you run into all the crazy fees when you try to transfer Ethereum, which is not nearly as expensive on Bitcoin. And this is the one I'm focusing on. And we'll talk about the numbers in a second. Staking I was doing, but I mean, well, actually, I think this is the same as, yeah, let's skip staking for now. Lending was the one I was doing. Oh, no, yeah, now if you're in the US, you can't do it anyway. So I don't have any in anymore, but I was doing this one. I mean, 6% APY, like, I don't know. I guess there's some benefit to that, but anyway, I guess you can't do that anymore anyway. So I didn't even know that, but I'd gotten out of that because I just thought, well, why don't I put that money into liquidity mining? And then the freezer. Now the freezer takes some explanation because you get some benefits right away. And this November 28th one, this was my initial. You get free DeFi when you sign up. So that DeFi, now I've got that one's not going to auto renew. I decided I got these other two from Referrals, and those I am going to keep. So you can see those got a little ways to go before they're opened up. And you will make pretty good money. You can see 46.9% plus a 4% APY. So it's about 50% APY. So it's worthwhile keeping some in there and just letting it do its thing. Anyway, so let's pull up the assets because I'm going to talk about this. So right now, if you look at the bottom, and you probably noticed this earlier, it says I have $336.77 worth total assets. So what I did to compare it, and I'm going to explain, you might notice some of the numbers aren't adding up. It took me longer to figure that out. So we'll explain that in a second. But I wanted to compare, like, well, if I just left this money into Bitcoin, if the money I put into here, if I just left it in Bitcoin, would I have come out ahead, or did I come out ahead on Cake DeFi? So what I did is I found the price that Bitcoin was at and multiplied it by the transaction I made. And this one's nice. You see every transaction. If you go right here, you can view transactions and see all your transactions. And I went all the way back to the beginning to figure out how much Bitcoin. And the long story short is I basically invested $218 worth according to this method. Now I remember doing 50, 150. So I think it's actually a little off, but it's around 200, we could say. And right now, it's actually a little lower than when I calculated it this morning. It was 339. Now it's 336. And the Bitcoin at the time would have been 351. We'll stick with my numbers because Bitcoin was calculated based on the numbers at that exact time too. So according to this, I would have made $12 more if I'd put all my money in Bitcoin. So I actually wrote odd in my notes, and I was like, what is going on there? Well, now let's look at these numbers on the bottom. 278 plus 58 equals right around 336. But wait a minute, what about that $70? So I have $70 worth in frozen that gets added onto that. So the actual total, now this might be a little, again, this is a little different because I calculated this morning. Grand total is $411.56. And as you recall, as I said, if I had left it in Bitcoin, it would have been $351. So I actually came out ahead by using Cake DeFi. Now, a lot of that is frozen. Some of that has to do with referrals. So if you took that away, then I don't know, it doesn't work out as well. So let me talk a little bit about my strategy. I think I showed you, actually, I want to show you some new features first. So they have a Learn program now. And if I scroll down, so I missed it. They had one on the DeFi chain, and that you could earn $5 in DeFi, but apparently that one, as soon as I saw it, it was gone. So I don't know when they released that. But they've got ones coming for Ethereum where you can earn $5 in Ethereum, and they got one for Bitcoin where you can earn $5 in Bitcoin. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing they have that I kind of want to talk a little bit about, because I didn't really cover it in my last one, is there's a confectionery where you get rewards for how much you have invested. Now I don't have that much. So my confectionery score is 0.0059, so almost 0.006. If you go to 0.1, you get a special VIP interface. So I will maybe get there I'm a little ways. I think I have to get quite a bit. And then if you get to 0.5, apparently they have some VIP tokens coming and an exclusive VIP Telegram group. If you get 1.0, your apprentice edition, and then you also get a monthly insider market analysis, a dedicated support email, a Cake swag box, which is still coming soon, and one free withdrawal every 3 months. How nice. And then the next one up, I believe, is, now I gotta guess, 5.0. They add a discounted duck swap to that. And then there's some elite benefits. I'm just going to go through $120 a year worth of partner perks is coming for some of the higher ones, a dedicated account manager, quarterly updates via video call. You know, we're getting into the really high levels, invitation to an annual company event, and special charity donation. Apparently they're working on a priority launch too. At the really, really high levels, you can have an individual CEO call meeting. So you get to talk to the CEO. So that's cool, I guess. So I talked about the good things. What are some things I don't like about Cake DeFi? Well, it's been 6 months and you still can only swap Bitcoin into DeFi, but not the other way around. In other words, taking profits is a little complicated, and I don't like that. In fact, I'm going to stop my share. I think for it to be truly liquid, you have to be able to go both ways. So I don't really like the fact that you can only go one way on it. I think that's something they should really add, because it's to me, for a platform to be fully functional, they should have that feature built in. But there is a way to do it if you download the the DeFi platform itself, and you have to download the whole thing. And it's a pain in the butt. But once you do that, you can actually use those. You can use that and send it to that and exchange it for Bitcoin. Well, another thing that would help too, if Coinbase would offer it for trade, because they don't have it on their platform yet. So that would be really nice. Then you'd just be able to send it, easy peasy, assuming they allowed that. So I want to talk a little bit about my strategy. Basically, once per week, I reinvest into liquidity mining. So I have some Bitcoin set aside, some of the total that I mentioned there. Some of that goes weekly to increasing the liquidity mining. So that's one of my concerns. I'm worried that the liquidity mining, because eventually I'm probably going to switch over where I'm just putting Bitcoin in and matching the DeFi. And so right now I'm putting all the DeFi that I make back into it and then matching with extra Bitcoin. So I might have to switch that at some point, so I'm not continually pumping Bitcoin into this thing. And what I found is early on, I wasn't really making hardly anything in Bitcoin rewards from liquidity mining, but as the amount that I had was higher, I started actually making those rewards. So that's kind of nice. And just a note, I've taken in about $41 in referrals from this. So just a reminder that if you click my referral link, I will get some DeFi and you will get some extra DeFi. So that's a good deal. If you are going to do it, I recommend that you go through my link. And let's see. Yeah. I did let my frozen pools, one of my frozen pools I'm letting expire, so I can invest that into liquidity mining as well. So I really think that's a good thing to do. I've been pretty happy with liquidity mining. Overall, yeah, I actually think this platform is pretty useful. We'll see I really want to see where it is in a year. So this was the 6 months. So next summer, you will see my full review on 1 year of doing Cake DeFi, and I hope it is doubled, because right now it is my assets have doubled since the last time I did this video, and hopefully that will be the case going forward. If you have any questions about Cake DeFi, I'd love to hear what you have to say. I may or may not be able to answer them. I'm not an expert on Cake DeFi. This is me experimenting with this stuff and showing how it works so that you can do it too. So I hope that helps today. Thanks, guys. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.